Now, one of the good things to learn with sewing, particularly if you're not inclined to make clothes from scratch, is adapting the clothes that you do have or repairing the clothes that you do have so that you can continue to use them. This is a lovely dress given to my daughter. It's a beautiful dress, but the shoulder straps are too long. So I'm just going to take close to 2 centimetres out of the strap. Now there are two ways you can do this. You can just fold it over and restitch it, and that looks fairly okay, but you can still see the shoulder strap no matter how well you pull it down. Oftentimes there's a bit of a bump. You can actually sometimes still see it. So I'm actually going to show you how to unpick this, and then we will re-sew it just across the seam across the top, because that's how this one is made. It lends itself very nicely to doing this. So it's actually hemmed across the top, or finished across the top in a straight stitch. So I can just replace that stitching and it will look like it's always been there. I'm just going to catch, so just here you've got the stitches. Just catch the one that's up. Forgive me, my eyesight's not what it used to be. And then you just run it through. This is a special unpicker hook. This is the part you run through. There's often a little lump on this one, and that means you can quickly unzip a full seam. That always gives me the heebie-jeebies. Always feel like I'm going to cut through the material. I did it once on a set of curtains, and that worked very, very well, but it was quite a sturdy fabric, as you imagine, being curtains. And that was a very, very fast way of unpicking the seam on the curtains that I wanted to redo. So when you're unpicking, you just have to be careful, as I said, and particularly with this fine cotton fabric, that you don't unpick or cut a hole in the fabric. See, I nearly went through there. Right, once you have a bit of a hole, you can try and open it up. Doesn't seem to be wanting to do that. All right, looks like they have double sewn this shoulder strap, which is a little annoying, but okay. Is it pulling away from the front yet? No. All right, I'll unpick some from the front. See, oh no, there we go. So that's where I've unpicked it at the back. That's come free. I'll just cut that in the middle and see what we have there now. What's going to come undone? Nope. So they've actually sewn this as a hem, as a seam, a neckline on the top, and then they have over sewn the edge of the bodice to give a nice neat edge rather than just a folded unpick this area twice. So just here you can see this actual holes in the material, or where the stitches have gone through. So I just have to carefully ease my unpicker and try and get one of these without, as I said, going through the fabric. Let's see if I can't. Start unpicking. There we go. So sometimes you just have to catch one and a bit will unpick. Then you undo another. Gosh, this has been triple sewn. They did not want these shoulder straps going anywhere. This area's been over sewn a few times. It's quite a thick area of fabric. I'm fairly sure I've got to the edge of the shoulder strap. I'll just try and find the material of the shoulder strap so I can tease out what's shoulder strap, what's not shoulder strap. Bit of loose fabric. There we go, it's just fraying a bit. Okay, so yeah, it's triple sewn. So they've originally sewn the shoulder strap onto the inside of the bodice. Then they have sewn the outside of the bodice. Then they folded it inside out, like right way around, and then they have sewn around the top. A little bit more complicated than I was planning, but that's okay. So now I'm going to sew it up in the simple way. I'm not going to do this to sew it back again. So I've just got this original stitching, sewing the shoulder strap to the interior bodice. So I'll unpick those and then I'll be able to insert more of the shoulder strap in and then re-sew it. So again, just do one and see how much that loosens up. It's much easier to unpick already loosened stitches. I think I'll need to do a few more. There we go, getting there. They've actually gone sewn over itself to make sure it stays there. So there we go. So we now have a detached shoulder strap. And I'll neaten up all of the threads and then we can insert, make sure you don't twist the strap. That's the right way. So we just insert that back in here. So I will get a pin and I will pin it so I know how far to insert it, and then pin it on when it's inside, and then sew just straight stitch straight over it. So easy peasy. Now I've just got the other side to do, and then we can move ahead. Right, so I've tidied up the thread, just inserting these straps. I haven't bothered to cut them short, just in case we ever want to make them longer again. Alright, so that's about where I'm going to want it. Okay. Just going to pin that in place. Make sure it's straight. The other one. Insert this into the hole. Yes, I didn't want to go in. Alrighty. Well, onto a knot, it's in now. Just need to make sure this one stitching has moved a little bit, so make sure I'm not going to over sew the wrong area. And then pin it in place. isn't that square now. Still have to look at your angles. This is going in a square. If you have it at too much of an angle like it was just a minute ago, it'll sit in unevenly on your shoulders. All right, so now I just have to sew those back in. I'm going to sew this from the front so I can get the best look that I can. Make sure I line this stitching up, that's it. I'll just put my needle down a little bit so I can see where it's going to enter into the material. And actually move it over a smidge, there we go. All right, then we just straight stitch across. Take that pin out before it does any mischief. Now then I could reverse over this, but I won't be able to see where I'm going. So I'm going to turn the material around and forward stitch back over the stitching again, so I can get a best result as I can. And this is just to reinforce this shoulder strap because I've taken the internal stitching out. Alrighty. And there we have one repositioned strap. And it may have always been there. Let's do the other one. Careful with this material where it's slightly folded on itself up the top there. Slightly annoying. All right. Smidge over. Okay. And we're ready to go. Again, take the needle out, pin out, sorry. Again, turn it around, cut my threads off. And we're done. And there's the second shoulder strap. Finished. Done.